Want to speak real Japanese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at JapanesePod101.com.
10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Let's start! ありがとうございます。でも実は私、ネイティブスピーカーではないんです。Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. ありがとうございます。でも実は私、ネイティブスピーカーではないんです。Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. お、本当にすっごい日本語上手だね。わあ、びっくりした。うまく話せるようになるのに1年しかかかりませんでした。It took me only 1 year to become fluent. うまく話せるようになるのに1年しかかかりませんでした。It took me only 1 year to become fluent. 本当にすごっ。3年間でネイティブスピーカーのように日本語を話せるようになります。I'll speak Japanese like a native speaker in 3 years. 3年間でネイティブスピーカーのように日本語を話せるようになります。I'll speak Japanese like a native speaker in 3 years. おー、いい志だ、すごい。頑張れ、応援してる。10年間、日本語を勉強してきました。I've been learning Japanese for 10 years. 10年間、日本語を勉強してきました。I've been learning Japanese for 10 years. おー、すごい。継続は力なり。字幕なしで日本の映画を見ることができます。I can watch Japanese movies without subtitles. 字幕なしで日本語の映画を見ることができます。I can watch Japanese movies without subtitles. すごい。新しい日本語の単語を1日55ぐらい覚えることができます。I can memorize around 50 new Japanese words a day. 新しい日本語の単語を1日55ぐらい覚えることができます。I can memorize around 50 Japanese words a day. 本当に？ちょっとその才能をください。日本語以外にもいくつかの言語を話すことができます。Apart from knowing Japanese, I can speak a few other languages as well. 日本語以外にもいくつかの言語を話すことができます。Apart from knowing Japanese, I can speak a few other languages as well. 何語が喋れるの？すごいね。独学で日本語を勉強しています。I'm learning Japanese all by myself. 独学で日本語を勉強しています。I'm learning Japanese all by myself. おー、素晴らしい。絶対上手になるよ。話していたことは全部わかりました。I completely understood everything you said. 話していたことは全部わかりました。I completely understand everything you said. 京都弁を話せます。I can speak Kyoto accent. 京都弁が話せます。I can speak Kyoto accent. おいでやす。
What is the difference between ありがとうございます and ありがとうございました? So, when your teacher lends you his book, you say ありがとうございます. But when you return the book to your teacher, you might want to say the same thing again. ありがとうございます. Actually, you should say ありがとうございました here. So, what's going on with this? When you say thank you right after you receive kindness or favor from someone, you say ありがとうございます. But ありがとうございました is used when the action you're thanking for is completely finished. So, in the example before, you're done reading the book and you're giving it back. ありがとうございました. ございました is the past tense of ございます. That's right. It's just a verb and it conjugates the exact same way. That's easy to remember, right? Past tense verb to thank for something that happened in the past. So, what do you say when you're on a train and a man offers you a seat? You'd say, ありがとうございます. But then, When you get off the train and you want to say thank you again to him, you'd say, right, Arigatou Gozaimashita, because his favor was completed before. Okay, one more example. You're hosting a party. How do you say thanks for coming to your guest when they arrive? Arigatou gozaimasu. And when the party's over and your guest is leaving, how do you say thank you? Arigatou gozaimashita. I hope this makes sense to you and you're able to use arigatou gozaimasu and arigatou gozaimashita correctly from now on. The question for this lesson is, why should I add san after a name? San is an honorific title to show politeness. It's similar to Mr. or Miss in English. When you don't know someone very well, you should address him or her with politeness, right? San is the most commonly used colloquial expression among adults. When you meet a person, you should address the person with their name plus san to show your politeness. Also, it's used with people who are not so close to you. You can use san with your seniors and juniors in a formal situation or business setting. You might have heard sama, kun, and chan added after people's names. For example, Tanaka-sama, Taro-kun, and Hanako-chan. Kun is usually used with males who are the same age as you or younger than you. However, it can also be used to females when a male boss is talking to his female subordinates in a business situation, but it's not so common. When you say girls' names in casual conversations, it's more common to add chan instead of kun. Finally, here's one more example of how to use san. If you have a coworker, Mr. Ishii, who is not your superior or not a person in a managerial position, you should call him Ishii-san. If he is in a managerial position, you might want to address him with positions such as Ishii Kacho, which means section manager Mr. Ishii, and so on.
Want to get cheat sheets, audiobooks, lessons, apps, and much more every month for free? Just click the link in the description to get your free language gifts of the month.
The question for this lesson is it bad to say Anata? In English, you can say, are you going to school today? But the literal equivalent in Japanese, あなたは今日学校に行きますか? sounds very robotic and unnatural. So what would you say then? Isn't あなた same as you? The most common place where Japanese people actually use あなた is when they don't know anything about the person. For example, someone drops their handkerchief on the street and then you want to get their attention. In this case, you can call the person あなた because you don't know the person's name or anything about him or her. You would say, これはあなたのハンカチですか? The other place where Japanese native speakers use あなた is when women are speaking to their husbands. In this case, it's similar to my darling and my sweetie in English. Also, omae is often used by men when they're talking to their close friend. This means you have to be careful about using あなた and omae. When Japanese people explicitly state you in their sentences, it's proper to use the person's name and attach its suffix. You're probably already familiar with so-and-so's son, which is a polite suffix. If you use あなた with someone who you know, it's kind of rude. So it's better to use name plus son. You might already have known that Japanese people often leave out watashi because you say, for example, Hiroko desu to mean I'm Hiroko. We leave out watashi when it's obvious. The same thing happens with あなた and you can just leave あなた out of your sentences when whose you is obvious. Therefore, when you ask someone, are you going to school today? You can just say, 今日学校に行きますか? without saying あなた.
5 phrases your teacher will never teach you, but I will teach you. すごい cool. すごい When you see something outstanding, you say, わあ、すごいすごいバカ idiot, fool. I don't wanna be an American idiot. When your closer friend or family did something stupid, you say, バカだね. When you're kidding around someone, you say, バカ too. 相づち。そうそう。だよね。うんうん。へえ。相づち。We use 相づち between the conversation a lot. そうそう。そうそうそう means like yes, yes, yes. だよね。And だよね is like exactly. うんうん。うんうん is like yeah, yeah. へえ。When you don't have any interest in something. へえ。On the other hand, when you hear something for the first time, you say へえ with lots of interest. へえ。嘘。No way. 嘘。No way. 嘘。嘘。嘘だ。Words used by young people. 超。やばい。マジすげえ。超 means very or really. やばい。やばい is like oh my gosh or oh my god. マジ Seriously? すげえ。すげえ。Usually guys use it's like wow. Wow. すげえ。すげえ。Wow. Wow. Top 10 Japanese slang words. Let's do it. やばい。Risky. Wow. やばい。やばい。遅刻しそう。このやばいはいろんな時にいろんなシチュエーションで使えるので、そうですね。例えばいい時のやばいもあれば、本当に危ないとか、本当に悪い時のやばいもあります。いい時のやばいは、やばーみたいな感じ。なんかすごいじゃんみたいな感じで、悪いやばいは、やば良くないねみたいな意味合いで使ったりします。マジで Seriously? マジで Seriously? ねえ、世界一周旅行が当たったよ。マジで I have a big backpack. うわー。うわー。超 very 超 very 超超超いい感じ超超超いい感じ超超超超very very 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 超超何の歌かわかんないね超超 means not very very 超超 means butterfly 超超超超 very very This is a box 超狭いめっちゃ very めっちゃ very パフェ食べよういただきますめっちゃうま very tasty チャラい flirtatious player チャラい flirtatious player あの人かっこいいけどでもチャラいから苦手嫌だ no way 嫌だ no way 明日学校行きたくない嫌だ嫌だバイト part-time job バイト part-time job バイトを探すバイトはアルバイトの省略形です腹減る I'm hungry 腹減る I'm hungry 今日何にも食べてないから腹減ったよあんまり女の子は使わない方がいいです女の子は使わないでくださいちょっとお下品な感じです女の子が使ったらはいひどい It's terrible you're mean ひどい It's terrible you're mean 内緒で私の取ってたアイスクリーム食べたでしょひどいアイスくれ最高 best coolest 最高 best coolest 明日から休みだぜ最高もうすぐ富士山の頂上だもうすぐ着いた最高
When learning a new language, it's easy to think, I don't think I'm making any progress. What if I never reach my goals? We all get these thoughts from time to time. But are they worth being scared of? What are the fears language learners tend to have the most? And how can you learn to overcome them? Here are the top 4 language learning fears, according to our users. Number 1. I'm not good enough to start speaking yet. This is a pretty common fear or misconception that most learners have. Here's how you overcome it. The best way to get good at speaking is to start speaking from day 1. You need to open your mouth and just start talking. If you think you're not good enough, just focus on the lines you want to say. Number 2. I'm afraid I'll never be fluent. You've got to set small, specific goals. Make daily goals, like having just a 5-minute conversation. As these small goals add up, you'll be speaking more comfortably. Number 3. I'm not making any progress. There are two things you can do right now. Use the dashboard to track your progress. Our dashboard shows how much you've accomplished. Or try a harder lesson on our website. The lessons come with line-by-line translations, and the hosts explain everything. Now you can understand something you didn't minutes ago. Number 4. I'm afraid of not understanding anything I hear. This fear can occur when you hear advanced grammar and vocabulary and it just goes completely over your head. To beat this, simply read along with our line-by-line tool. It's the best way to instantly understand advanced conversations. Translations and scripts are right in front of you. For real-life situations, learn useful phrases such as, "Can you say it more slowly? I don't understand." There's nothing wrong with saying that you didn't understand something. Today we're going to talk about 4 techniques to help you stop translating in your head and instead start thinking in your target language. This will allow you to have conversations with ease, read smoothly, and better understand native speakers. These are 4 methods to help you think in a new language. Number 1, surround yourself with your target language. This way, you'll be completely immersed in the language. Without realizing it, you'll learn pronunciation, sentence structures, grammar, and new vocabulary. Play music in the background while you're cooking, or have a radio station on while you study. Just use one of our endless podcasts available to you. These are easy to listen to in the background while doing other things. Number 2, learn through observation. This is how we all learned our native languages as kids. Words will develop their own meanings that relate better to your target language, rather than meanings that are translated directly. Number 3, speak out loud to yourself. Even if you're a little embarrassed, it forces you to listen to how you speak. It makes it much easier to spot simple grammar mistakes. Number 4, practice daily. If you practice everything for only one day, you won't retain the information you learned. The brain can realistically only focus for about 30 minutes. So studying a little every day allows you to absorb better. Follow these steps and have patience. You'll soon be able to achieve your language learning goals. Just make sure to remember these 4 methods. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start learning more every day.